Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing a plan with me and a little setup slash discussion on 2026. So as y'all know, in my last haul I mentioned that I had an order placed from 8LOTUS and that came in. I did the unboxing on Instagram because I couldn't wait and I wanted to open them and try them out right away. And I didn't have enough time to film a YouTube video. And then it was also just one set of inserts and 2 bookmarks. And usually, I don't know, it just feels like if it's not a huge haul and I'm not like doing something with it, right? Like my last haul was the cloth and paper haul with the hourly inserts, but I had like a lot of accessories and I did the setup. And so if it's not huge, I feel like it's kind of misleading in a way to be like haul, because like it's 2 items, you know? And so if you haven't seen it in the 8LOTUS haul, I got some 2025 dated inserts and then I got 2 bookmarks, and I'll show y'all that in this video. And then I wanted to also update y'all. So again, in that last video, I purchased these inserts from 8LOTUS. So what I'm doing is trying out the 2025 dated inserts from that I might potentially want to use for 2026 now that the 2025 inserts are on sale. So this was $8 and I'm using the monthlies, but the weeklies just weren't working for me. The A6 size of this version just is way too small. I figured that would be the case, but I knew I could make use of the monthly inserts, and so that's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Like I knew that was like that had the potential, and so I'm not going to be using these. I actually already removed them from the planner, so I'll give you all a little update on that. It was worth a shot, but I am just gonna stick with my ROSIE PAPETERIE A5 inserts. And when it comes to the inserts that I choose, I've noticed that it has to work better than what I currently love, right? Like as y'all know, I try out different inserts, different layouts, but I typically go back to some go-to styles unless I find something that works better. And you know, that just, it makes sense, right? Like why you would switch is because it works better. And even an experimenting kind of helps so I can see what I like versus what I don't like. And then it kind of helps me improve with like my planning process in general. So I'm gonna stick with hourly. My A5 will be my hourly planner. That is going to ultimately probably just be an hourly planner. And so the A6 will still be my main planner. And then what we're gonna do is probably use these inserts because I'm honestly loving them. So in my 8LOTUS most recent order, I got 2 bookmarks, and then I got the new weekly inserts that I'm trying out that are horizontal grid. Again, they're 2025, so they were on sale. And so I'll show you all those, but just to give you all a little update of where we're at on the planner. I organized my office the past weekend and got rid of a lot of stuff, but I found so many good things that I've had since I've been like, you know, like in the planner community for a few years. So like I found this Your Everyday Planner Authenticity card that I wanted to add back in. I found my 8LOTUS bat paperclip that I'm obsessed with, and since it's October I added to my planner, and then a few other things that I'll probably start using in my planner. But I added this in here. And then as for setup, we're gonna work our way to where I put the weeklies. The upcoming section is still the same, so I haven't moved anything. So it's still the yearly overview. They don't have these available on cloth and paper, so for 2026, if you saw my ROSIE PAPETERIE haul, I have the quarterly inserts, so this will be a quarterly section for that. And of course, y'all know I'll have 2026 setup videos. But I'm just kind of giving y'all an idea because with Black Friday coming up, I know a lot of people get stuff then. I'm actually probably gonna get the remaining stuff then, right? Get it while it's on sale. And so I just want to throw the different things out there that I know I'll for sure be using and that I have. So I have the quarterly inserts. I was gonna put them in here for pre-planning, but that's too much. So this is right now just the yearly overview. It will be the quarterly overview in 2026, and I already have those from ROSIE PAPETERIE. Her printables are also now available, I saw. So I'll have both linked. I'll have like what I purchased and other things, everything linked below, as y'all know, in discount codes, because I don't think I've mentioned that yet. So we have that. And then the next tab is the the schedule tab. So we have the agenda, and so we have this in progress, and this is my monthly section. So we are going from yearly, monthly to weekly. And so I like these top tabs from Cloth and Paper. They're also very thin. And then with September, or with the months, I have these set up so that way it's a nice little overview of everything that I need, a storage for sticky notes, a nice glance. And then this is one of the newer items that I picked up from Infinite Lotus because the bookmarks are back in stock. I do have one more order coming in from Infinite Lotus, actually technically two. Two more orders coming in, and I'll go through that when we get to the order tracker. But this is one of the items that I picked up, and that way I can easily flip to my month because I like having this quick at a glance. The tasks is my inbox. That has not changed. And then the memos is just my notes section. That also has not changed. And then what I did was this next tab is the weeklies. So again, I have my yearly, will be quarterly, monthly with some notes slash my inbox, right? Like that good schedule. And then this is details. So this is the weekly inserts. I have the Kanban dashboard in here from Cloth and Paper. So we go from the weekly vellum, so I know what it is, right? And the breakdown of everything. I have my page flags in here, so I can use those. The Don't Settle dashboard, and then we go into the new inserts that just came in from Infinite Lotus. And you guys, I'm loving these. These are currently, I've already shared on Instagram, the top contender for my 2026 inserts. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get these because I really like them and they're everything that I'm looking for. So again, I got them dated, so they were on sale, but I can use the rest of the year, and I have the rest of the year in here too, which is nice because they all fit. And ultimately what I'm gonna do, or how I'm gonna use this, is kind of like this. So I'll figure out layout, but I really like this because it's very versatile, right? So I can use the grid to make check marks. I can highlight different things going on. I can use stickers to highlight anything important during the day. And then what I also really like is how this is kind of short here, because as y'all know, I like structure. I mention that all the time. I feel like I say certain things, but I know a lot of people are the same way. And when I say it, I like to highlight, like, because I do like structure, I do like that this is shorter, so I can just put like a key thing going on that day versus having a lot of blank space that I don't want to use. That was my biggest concern with these, but because A6 is a little bit more narrow, I love that you get more grid versus blank space because I don't like writing on blank space. This is fine because what I like about it, and what I should say is what I love about it, is it's pretty much the same as the box for the monthly. And so anything that's in the monthly, I'm pretty much gonna have that match here, and that way too, it's the same, and then it's kind of like a code in a way, right? Like it's that one key thing, so that's like the important item, and it just makes me happy that it matches, right? That I can have the same square. I think y'all know what I'm trying to say. I can't talk today. I barely got any sleep, so I'm hoping I'm making sense. But it's that same square. So like that is the key thing going on in the day, what's highlighted in my calendar, and then it brings in. And then as y'all know, I'm planning on, or maybe not, initial plans have been coming into the monthly calendar. So I set this up at the beginning of the month. I've been doing that on camera. And then as things pop up, I add them into the monthly. And then I use that to reference how I'm setting up the week. That's what we'll do in this video once I'm done catching y'all up. And so I can have these match what's there. And that way I know I have the key elements, right? So like, if it's important enough, right? So like I have the hospital visit that I did for work. That was an on-site. I just had highlighted that there, so that's probably a bad example. But like I have the fantasy draft, right? That square matches. Vet appointment, that square matches. Nothing on here that doesn't match. So, or that matches. And then same for this current week that I'm filming. I just wanted to highlight my schedule here because there was a lot going on these 2 days, so I put this page flag here. I also love how these page flags fit in here. And so technically I have the same items on that are on here. Here I just covered it because it wasn't as important. But as you can see, I have my best friend's son's soccer game this weekend. That matches, right? So again, it's that matching system. And then that way too, I know it helps me, since I'm visual, see, okay, I ensure that I have everything here, and that way I can make sure everything's aligned. So I really like that piece. So we have that. And then what I also just love, again, is that flexibility. So as you can see, every day is kind of different based on what's going on. If I just need a checklist, I can make it a checklist because it's grid. I can highlight using the squares with icons, like what's going on that day. games, different things like that. So I'm really loving these. And then I also love that this is narrow, so if it is a blank space, I feel like it's not really wasting space, you know. And I also don't mind just not using this and just using it as like a title, because it is so thin, and then everything I need can be in here. So it'll really depend on the week slash what's going on, but I also like that I can put an icon here to highlight that the icon that's on the calendar. It's right next to this, so if I don't want to write it out either, right, so like on payday I need to get some more pay stickers, I can just put that little, I can put like a little payday indicator here without having to write it. So it's just like a quick code slash key. So we'll set up probably this week and the following week for October, maybe just this week, we'll see. I don't think we have too much going on that next week, but like I said, I have the rest of the weeks in here. And then as for updates for the planner itself, so everything else, right, so this is my schedule. The next set of tabs are my like reference slash list. So this is my list section. And then I have my book section, which y'all have seen, and then my wellness section, which y'all have also seen. So that has not changed. They're just all together now, which I really like. So like all the scheduling and planning is taking up back here, and then everything else that I don't need as frequently is here. Before we get into planning, one more thing that I want to mention is what I ordered. So in the order tracker, we will see. Actually, I don't think I put it in yet. No, yeah, I did. Okay, so, right? I ordered refill paper from 8LOTUS, and then I did find out that even though I hate my printer with a passion, it can print on A6 paper, and so I did order A6 refill paper, so that way I can order the printables from 8LOTUS and print them out on that paper, or from any planner shop and print them out on 8LOTUS paper. 8LOTUS paper is my favorite paper. I love how smooth it is, and so if I can print it out on that paper, it's also thin, but like thick enough that I personally just love it. And so I ordered 2 of those, and then that was this dashboard, or this order. Oh no, I checked off the wrong one. So, oops, oh well. This one has shipped, so it'll be here soon, and I'll do a video on that when it comes in, because it is a larger order. But I did order a few additional inserts that I'll put in my reference section. I broke down dashboard, but I don't know if I got a dashboard. I guess we'll see when it comes in. And then I know I got some line notes refills. I got some more appointment sticky notes because I'm running low on those. I think I accidentally tossed one of them away. And then the new inbox bookmark, so it looks like this. That came in one of the sub boxes was available, so I did order that as well. And that way I can easily flip to my inbox and where I'm at really easily, because as y'all know, I like to flip to things. So if I can bookmark everything, I'll bookmark everything. So that's the upcoming order, and then as y'all can see, that's everything else that came in the order that was delivered. So we have that, and then the refill paper for A6. So that is everything coming in, and that is where my mind is at with the A6. Again, this is now my new main agenda. My A5 hasn't left my desk, so I just keep it open to the hourly. But all the details and notes and everything is in this planner. So we're gonna set that up and do it together. So let me see everything we have going on. In this agenda, I've been keeping everything in the pocket. So I have my icons, some stickers, time block stickers and circles, and all over the place for the most part. And I've been loving this style that I got in the previous cloth and paper orders. So we have all of those. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with what is going on this upcoming week. So I don't think, I only have like a telemedicine appointment on Friday. That's the only key thing that's going on. And then it's my sister's birthday, so we also want to highlight that. So let's also check the monthly calendar, because like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to align or ensure that these squares match what I want it to match in the monthly view. So for this week, oh, I have a certification, but I need to reschedule that. So that actually won't happen. I'll need to move that. So we have the 15th is the birthday, and then the telemedicine appointment. So let's do here, and then I'll put in sports as well. in a little fast forward. And I don't think I'll need anything else. I have to follow up with the vet for Mira's appointment. She said 3 weeks. So here's the appointments of 1, 2. So that's next week. So I didn't need to worry about the vet just now. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's go ahead and put those in. So we'll put in the little stethoscope for the appointment here. And then we'll put in the birthday. And this is what I was saying. So if I don't want to write it out, which maybe I don't think I'll do, or what I think I might do, instead of putting it here, because again, I just don't like writing on the blank space. And this is my month to like really experiment with how I want to use these. So what I'll do is to try it out this week, kind of like what I did here, where I have the icon and then I put like what it correlates to here, and then with a little drop. I might not use the drop, but we might just do that. So this is my sister's birthday. And so I'll make sure to call her that day. And then I have a telemedicine appointment on this day. And then I'll have to put in the time because I honestly can't remember on the top of my head. So we have that. My committee is going through my dissertation one last time. And so I followed up with one of the committee members this week. So what we're currently what they're currently doing is rereading it one final time to ensure it's ready for publication. I've passed my defense, and so now it's really just like, what is it? Like crossing T's and dotting I's. Yeah, I think that's the thing. So I'm just gonna follow up with them on that. They had like midterms and stuff, which completely understandable, but just to keep track of it. And then I also need to reach out to the coordinator on graduation specifics. So, which I've been planning the graduation party and it's almost done. So I'm so excited to be like done with the planning process of that. But I'm just gonna put follow up on my dissertation just until it gets completed. And then as for other priorities, and so see, this is the, I think, perfect amount of space, which is why I'm loving these inserts for my to-dos. I don't have to abbreviate everything like I was doing in those like narrow cloth and paper inserts. And then what I also like with the grid is if I do need to write something out, I can do that here, and I have so much space to write that. So that's another reason too why I think horizontal is probably going to be the route that I need to go in my A6, because I do want to have the option to write things out and have the space that I need. I think these are honestly going to be the perfect insert for me, because that's ultimately what I'm looking for, is that flexibility. And these are very flexible thanks to the grid. So, and then having a checklist too, because I'm a like list oriented person, it really helps with that. Let's see. Otherwise, this is stuff that I need to do today. I already got my sister's gift. I will need to also get my dad's gift because his birthday is the following week. So we'll actually put that in too, because I don't know if I'll be able to do a plan with me next week due to travel. So let's do dad's gift. I also need to figure out what I'm getting him. So I'll get that. If latest this week, I might get it this weekend, but it's okay. I'll just save it for here. And then let's also put in his birthday here, and I'll for sure call him as well. And then I am excited because we were planning the trip back home for the wedding. The bachelor party that we're going to is the week that we're not gonna be planning, but the wedding is this week. And we got some details because I met with my best friend and my now other best friend, because we became best friends since they've started dating. And I just try to like keep clear titles so that way y'all kind of know who I'm talking about in a way. But what's been really great is that my best guy friend, who's my best man in my wedding, his fiance, we've become like actual like close friends, which has been great and I really love. And so like we did a FaceTime just this past week to catch up and do some like planning. And then I'm in the bridal party, and so I just got my dress in, which is so exciting. So I got to tell them that, just show it to them. And then I got her something blue, which I'm really honored that she asked me to give her something blue. And so we were talking about that and just catching up, but because they're obviously still in Texas, but we'll be here in Texas this week. And again, I'll plan that out probably in the November setup, just to make things easier. But where I was going with this is that I will be able to see my parents this Saturday. We narrowed down like what we're doing specifically on the travel days. And then I'm actually going to travel with this planner. So I am going to put travel plans in here. And I've just, again, been loving it. It's been easy to like carry this with me in my Prada backpack, because that's been my main backpack. I have the unboxing on here if y'all are interested in that. But it's been so great because I can put my work laptop, my normal laptop, and then I can fit my GM agenda, but this is so compact and I can keep everything in it, as I've talked about. Like my whiteout fits in here. I've also been able to put my lip gloss in here. I actually have it somewhere on my desk. I don't know where it went. Since it's like getting cooler here in the PNW, it's like nice that I can also keep all that in one spot. So yeah, I'm excited because we'll be able to see my parents, and really excited that we pretty much will get a full day. And then I get to see my other two close friends that are in Texas as well, doing dinner one night here and then another night here with them. So very, very, very happy that I get to see them. Okay, so that is upcoming plans as well. And then let's see, what else do we have? I guess let's see what's going on this week. I don't think there's much. Yeah, it was the birthday. Oh, and then the bachelorette. So yeah, we have that. So that's actually caught up. So here's this current week. As for next week, like I said, I don't think there's anything else that I really need to put in here, like for a pre-setup. But I really wanted to go over this with you guys and kind of share how I'm using it and kind of like my mindset with it. I will need to prep content prior to the trip, and I'll have to film, oh, it'll be end of month flip time the following week, so while we're out. So yeah, I'll definitely need to film this. So let's do content prep, and that way I can have that out for you guys. And then I don't think there's usually, or I don't think there's anything else. We didn't see anything in the monthly. Let's look at the inbox. Most of it's just graduation items. So sorry, there's a fly that's been getting on my nerves. I got the announcements, sent those out. People are receiving them. I'm narrowing down the graduation party plans. For the most part, we got that figured out. Dissertation's still being finalized. The authorization will be done once we sign that sheet for my dissertation, once the committee's done reviewing it. Oh, I think I stopped talking about that. Again, I haven't gotten any sleep. So my committee has been going through my dissertation one final time, and they're signing off on it so that we can submit it. And then once it's all signed off on between them and my chair, I sign it and then I release it so that way it can be published. And then we're good to go. I already put in my grad application, so we're good. I just need to update it, and that's why I need to reach out to the coordinator. I booked my parents' tickets for the graduation, and then I'm listing a few things, but I won't worry about that probably until after we get back. And then I updated the travel plans. Yeah, so I think we're good here. Yeah, I think that's everything. As things pop up, I will put them in here, but for now, let's just put in my dad's birthday. I know it looks kind of boring, but this is sometimes how it looks. And then, as y'all know, sometimes that's just how weeks go, right? Especially since I'm not like in school, like I'm tracing down my committee, not tracing down, but you know, just like nudging them a bit. I will graduate in December. That's already like, of course, done, but you know, I'm just trying to get this over with so I don't have to worry about it anymore, like the final submissions and the final forms. And just so I know that it's over. But otherwise, let me just put in sports and then I think we're good. All right, so other than that, that is everything. And then I just did the rest of the month since I don't think, like I said, like traveling and everything, I won't be able to film another plan with me. And that way too, it's already in here and easier. I don't feel like re-look it up and I can just reference it too. So other than that, that is the setup. That's updates on the inserts, 2026, the weeks, kind of where my head's at with the planning. Again, loving A6. This is my main planner. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I was trying to get those hourly inserts to work in here, but it's just too narrow and it's fine. Like I love using my GM and having it as a desk agenda is really nice. And that'll, having that secondary planner is nice sometimes for just a quick overview anyways. But this is the main planner. It's where I'm in and I'm really excited and I'm happy that I get to share everything with you guys. Like I said, there's one more order coming in and I'll film that if I can, if it doesn't come in like when we're traveling. But yeah, other than that, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching.